So, one of the first inyanim topics discussed in this week's parsha, we do not have a Hasidic interpretation this time for Rabbi Yomin. Last time when he walked in, we said a word from the Noam Elimelech. Remember Rabbi Yomin? Lahazah Gedolim Anaktanim. But this time we have the Ksav Sofer, not exactly Chassidish. Yeah, okay. So we have one of the most common expressions. We have the Jewish version is, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? There's a famous expression. When somebody says something which has nothing to do with what you're talking about, what do they say in America? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Have you heard that expression before? What is the Hebrew equivalent of, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That is, Shmuel, and Shlomo, and Avram, and Moshe, and everybody here. Ma inyan shmitah, eitzel halsina. Okay, it's okay if you don't know the expression. We're not going to charge you. It's no problem. The expression is based on Rashi and this week's parsha. The Torah tells us, as an introduction to the laws of shmitah, the Torah tells us that Hashem told Moshe on Mount Sinai to tell the Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, the laws of shmitah. So everybody knows this, except for those that don't, right? Ma inyan shmitah eitzel hasinai. Rashi wants to know, why do we specify that the Torah that the halachas of shmitah were given on Mount Sinai? The whole Torah was given on Mount Sinai. So by every mitzvah, it could have said, Hashem told Moshe on Mount Sinai to tell the Bnei Israel, pick your mitzvah. Tefillin, sukkah. Yira Zaydel, Hachnasas Orchim. One of the mitzvahs that the Ladels excel in. Chesed. Okay? That was also given on Mount Sinai. So again, the Jewish equivalent of what does it have to do with the price of tea in China is Ma inyan shmitah eitzel hasinai. It's based on this parsha. The Torah makes a big deal about it. Oh, Hashem told Moshe on Mount Sinai the laws of shmitah. Okay, every mitzvah was given on Mount Sinai. So just say the laws of shmitah. Then we'll know it was given on Sinai. So what does Rashi answer? It's hard to understand the answer. But just like shmitah, not just the main mitzvah itself was given on Sinai, but the main mitzvah, the klal, and the particulars, and all the specifications, they were given on Sinai. Also, every mitzvah was given on Mount Sinai in completion. Not just the mitzvah itself, but the details and all the specifications, and the entire mitzvah in its completion was given on Mount Sinai. Okay? That is the end of this Rashi. I'm just saying, it's just interesting vernacular. It became common that people say that when you say something which has nothing to do with the subject matter, people will say, Ma inyan shmitah eitzel hasinai. Why are you bringing this in? What does that do with what we're talking about? Okay. So Rashi doesn't really answer the question. Because if the whole idea the Torah is telling us is that shmitah was given on Mount Sinai, just like every other mitzvah was given in detail, so again, why was shmitah picked as the example to teach us that not just was the mitzvah given on Mount Sinai, but all the details were given? It could have picked kashrus. Just like when Hashem told Moshe the laws of kashrus, all the details were given, so also every other mitzvah in its completion was given. So we didn't really answer the question, Shmuel. Right. Why shmitah was picked?
Why does it stand out?
Why does it stand out? Very good. Every mitzvah could have been the one to teach us this concept that the mitzvah and all the details were given on Mount Sinai. So before I say over the Ksav Sofer's pshat, I'll say over his father's pshat. We'll go in order. The Ksav Sofer says a beautiful idea. Why do we specify that shmitah was given on Mount Sinai? It's because shmitah is one of the examples as a proof that the Torah was given from Hashem Torah min hashamayim. How? The Torah promises that if you don't work the land for the 7th year, what are you going to eat? So Hashem says, that if you ask, what's going to be, am I going to work the land? So in the 6th year, Hashem says, He promises He'll give you enough for the next 3 years. Why? Because if you don't work the land for the 7th year, not only do you not have food for that year, you don't have food for the next couple of years, because the way it works in the farming industry, not that I know too much, is you don't really eat from what you work on now. It's ready to use in advance. So in the 7th year, you might eat from what you did the year before. But what are you going to eat in the 6th year? Hashem promises in the 6th year He'll give you enough for the next 3 years. So you'll have for that year, and you'll have for the next year. Because if you don't work the land in the 7th year, you're not going to have anything for the next year. So in the 6th year, Hashem gives you enough for the next 3 years. Now, if you're writing a book, and you want people to buy your book, and buy into all your laws, and follow your religion, would you make a promise that you can't keep? You might do it, but you're not going to do it if you want to guarantee sales. Because once one of your predictions doesn't come true, there goes all your book sales, your speaking engagements, your YouTube classes, all gone.
All those views, man.
You won't get any more views anymore, because the guy's a liar. The guy makes predictions and they don't come. So why would somebody do that? The only being that would make a prediction, a promise, is a being that knows that he or she, we're very pluralistic over here, could fulfill whatever promise that being makes. So only a divine God would make a promise, I will give you enough for the 6th year for the next 3 years. A human being would not take a chance. Because once you say that, and it doesn't happen even once, you're gone. Nobody will buy your book, nobody will buy into your religion, and whatever you're trying to accomplish by making this Bible will go down the drain. So shmitah is a raya, is a proof that Torah is min hashamayim, that Torah is from the divine. Says the Chassam Sofer, that's the deeper meaning. That the reason why shmitah was given as the example, that Torah is Sinai, that Torah was given on Mount Sinai in its complete form, the reason why shmitah was an example is because shmitah is an example that Torah is min hashamayim. Torah is from heaven.
You have to have faith in the mitzvah? That was
the mitzvah of shmitah itself.
Saying that it stands out because this is the only mitzvah where you have to have faith in Hashem for your livelihood.
Yeah, that also. But I was focusing on the nosein HaTorah, the giver of the Torah. The mitzvah of shmitah, one of the particulars, we said, the mitzvah itself was given, and not just the mitzvah, also its particulars. One of the particulars was what I just said, that Hashem promises in the 6th year, He'll give you enough for 3 years. Why would somebody make that promise if they can't keep it? So for the fact that Hashem, the author of the Bible, made that promise, it's a proof that Torah is min hashamayim. Because no person would take a chance to promise something that he doesn't know for sure that he can fulfill. Only a divine being will take a chance, because the divine being knows that they can fulfill what it says in that book. While we're on the subject, I'll give you another example, then we're coming right back to this. The Torah tells us, we just had last week the Yom Tovim, the holidays. On the Yom Tovim, you have to go to the Jerusalem and bring a korban. So you leave your house, you leave all your possessions, and Hashem promises, don't worry about it. Nobody will even desire your possessions. You don't need to have all these high alarms and all these sophisticated security systems. The Torah says, not only will nobody take anything, nobody will even covet, even desire any of your possessions. A human being would not make a promise like that, because they can't fulfill that. Once something gets stolen, again, your book's gone. Another proof that Torah is min hashamayim. So, only a being that knows that they can make a promise, that they can fulfill the promise, would take a chance and make that promise, because they know that they can fulfill it. So, that's a raya, the mitzvah of Re'ir, but we're focusing now on shmitah.
like a human being can't know about the Min HaShamayim, right? The Min HaShamayim. A human being can't know that you're going to be supplied for the next 3 years, for the 6, 7. And
a human being, meaning if he was writing the Torah.
See, that's what Min HaShamayim means.
Yeah, meaning I'm focusing on the author of the book, of the Bible. Let's say I wanted to write a book, or anybody greater than me. You wouldn't promise something if you can't fulfill it. So shmitah is a raya that Torah is min hashamayim, because only Hashem, who can do anything He wants, would make a promise. I will give you enough in the 6th year for 3 years. A human being, excuse me, would never make that promise because he can't fulfill it. So the mitzvah of shmitah is a raya that Torah is min hashamayim. It's a proof that the Torah, thank you, is from heaven, is from Hashem. So to answer the question, why was shmitah picked as the example that the Torah, all the mitzvahs, in all its details, were given on Mount Sinai? The reason why shmitah was picked is because shmitah is an example that Torah is min hashamayim. So just like shmitah is min hashamayim, so too all the mitzvahs are min hashamayim.